Hello everyone, and welcome to my Bold and Beautiful Today channel. The next challenge for Liam, Steffy and Hope's Truce. According to spoilers for the upcoming 2 weeks of May 5th to 16th on The Bold and the Beautiful, Steffy. While Liam Spencer takes on a new task, Forrester and Hope Logan will declare a truce. Luna Nozawa may require guidance as she attempts to reconcile certain competing objectives. Steffy Forrester will try to contact Liam throughout the week of May 5th to 9th. Steffy will try to persuade Liam that Hope should hear the whole story, even though he insists on keeping his illness a secret. In the end, Liam might ask Steffy to tell Hope the news on his behalf. However, Steffy may believe she is the expert and opt to inform Hope on Liam's medical drama. In any case, Steffy will visit Hope to have a heartfelt conversation regarding Liam's inoperable brain mass. Once this discussion begins, Hope and Steffy will essentially declare a truce because helping Liam will be the most crucial thing. Additionally, this should pave the way for Hope's significant return to Forrester Creations. Brooke Logan, Catherine Kelly Lang, will be taken aback when he confesses to Deacon Sharp, Sean Cannon, that he believes Hope should resume a love relationship with Liam. Naturally, Liam is no longer considering his personal romantic life. Liam's one concern now is whether his loved ones will be okay if he actually passes away from this brain tumor as his doctors predict. In the end, Liam and Bill Spencer, Don Diamont, will have a difficult conversation that might quickly turn from uncomfortable to heartbreaking. Bill is ready to hear Liam's admission of having an inoperable mass and the dire forecasts that his time is running out. Luna will show up at the Cliff House to tell John Finnegan how wonderful he is and to persuade him that they ought to become a family. At the very least, Luna will feel that Finn is not the kind of man who would desert his child. Finn might counter that Luna has given him no other option. Finn cannot overcome Luna's crimes, especially after Steffy firmly objected and told him he could not speak to his biological daughter. It's probable that Steffy's return may cut off Finn and Luna's talk, which could lead to serious animosity in Finn's marriage. Despite her desire to play dirty and snatch Will Spencer, Crew Morrow, away from Elector Forrester, Linnea Grace, Luna will harbor hopes of a romance with Finn. According to BNB teasers, Luna will need to take care not to get caught because Finn wouldn't approve if he knew what she was doing. Luna might require some direction from Sheila Sharp, Kimberlyn Brown, throughout the week of May 12th to 16th. The likelihood that Sheila and Luna may be discovered together by Deacon or another person who might blab to him increases with the amount of time they spend together. However, Luna will continue to try to woo Will, and as he becomes frustrated with Elector's resistance to bedtime, Luna may succeed. Liam, on the other hand, will have to accept the things that he cannot alter. As his illness worsens and more symptoms appear, Liam will feel powerless, but at least he will have Steffy, Hope, and Bill to support him. Even Finn is unaware of some of the crazy experimental treatments that Bill may investigate. Bill may try to get Liam to participate in a research trial or some genuinely innovative technique, but is there any chance of saving him? Lastly, Brooke might start to question whether Ridge Forrester, Torsten K., is really sliding away from her. In the upcoming episodes, Brooke would be devastated if Ridge is planning to propose to Taylor Hayes, Rebecca Budig. Stay tuned for some highs and lows over the next 2 weeks, according to spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful. For Liam's sake, Steffy and Hope band together. The Bold and the Beautiful is officially in the dead zone. At the very least, Steffy Forrester's retaliation against Hope Logan necessitates Liam Spencer facing his own death. The news that her ex had been diagnosed with an incurable brain tumor made Steffy realize that her problems with Hope pale in comparison. Liam was unable to be honest with Hope. When Hope eventually saw her ex, she hurried straight to Steffy's house since she had a suspicion that something was off with him. They spoke for a long time, but Liam was still processing the news and couldn't bring himself to tell her that he was dying. Rather, he urged Hope to make the decision to fall in love and let Carter Walton, Lawrence St. Victor, reclaim her affections. Hope contacted Carter to agree to meet with Liam after he argued that life is far too short to deny others the opportunity to love you. Even though Hope followed his advice, she has a gut feeling that something is seriously wrong. Steffy is honest with Hope. Steffy understands that she will have to tell Hope the truth as Liam admits that he was unable to do so. Steffy makes the decision to approach Hope and tell her the truth since she has to know that they both have a daughter with him. After years of conflict over Liam, they must now band together to help him. Although Steffy is a complete mess when speaking with Hope, they ultimately decide that their little disagreements must remain in the past. For the sake of both their girls and him, they must come together. Hope wants Liam to stay with her, and Steffy might even agree to this idea. Liam is now sleeping in the guest house on the property of Steffy and John Finnegan, Tanner Novlin. Being unmarried now prevents her from being as committed to him as Hope would be. Fans go crazy as Steffy puts herself in Hope's shoes. As the mother of one of Liam Spencer's daughters, Hope Logan has a right to know, but she doesn't yet on the CBS soap opera Bold and the Beautiful, where Steffy Forrester is taking on Liam Spencer's illness. However, she will find out next week, and an unexpected plot point begins to take shape. Spoilers for Bold and the Beautiful, Steffy Forrester takes the initial step. Steffy Forrester, who is currently unhappy on Bold and the Beautiful, knows that Hope Logan will be as devastated by this devastating news. Although Finn supports his wife, he will not experience the same level of dejection as the two mothers of Liam Spencer's children. Spoilers about Steffy Forrester and Hope Logan from Bold and the Beautiful. Steffy discovers she shares connection with Hope after their loss the following week on Bold and the Beautiful. Perhaps that is why she defies Liam's wishes and breaks the terrible news to her on-again off-again stepsister. The fans applauded this week when Steffy told Finn that she could only picture Hope's reaction to this. However, the crowd went crazy on social media when she claimed that her issues with Hope were little compared to what they were going through. It's #BoldAndBeautiful, Liam's tragic fate transforms everything. Spoilers for B&B, I hope Logan breaks down. When Steffy Forrester informs Hope Logan of Liam Spencer's death diagnosis on Bold and the Beautiful the following week, she is inconsolable. Steffy was troubled by Hope's lack of knowledge about Liam last week. It appears that Steffy defies Liam's wishes when she informs Hope Logan about Liam's impending death in a heartbreaking scene. Like Steffy, Hope is probably inconsolable. Like Steffy, they too seem to lose their contempt for one another. Liam Spencer, Bold and the Beautiful. Liam has daughters with each of these moms. Hope's little girl is Beth Spencer, Jordan Lynn Ariza, and Steffy's daughter is Kelly Spencer, Sophia Paras McKinley. As time passes, they both have to tell their daughters that their father will no longer be present. Thus, Liam Spencer may benefit greatly from the support of Steffy Forrester and Hope Logan. Furthermore, unless a miracle occurs, these two mothers will soon be in the same situation as their daughters when Liam passes away. Having someone nearby who is experiencing the same thing might therefore provide them with some comfort. Spoilers for Bold and the Beautiful, Steffy and Hope split the weight. Liam is currently active on Bold and the Beautiful and requires little to no assistance. However, based on what Finn has informed Steffy, the physicians are unsure about his prognosis and the course of the tumor. Therefore, it makes sense that he will eventually require assistance. Bold and the Beautiful, Ridge says he's done with Brooke by proposing to Taylor? #BraveandBeautiful. Next week on Bold and the Beautiful, Steffy takes the first step in mending the rift between herself and Hope. Fans have reason to rejoice after the preview of the CBS soap opera, as Steffy was able to take Hope Logan's place and begin making amends, not only for Liam but also for Hope Logan, Steffy Forrester, and their daughters. Bill regrets, Hope is distraught, and Luna claws back. Weekly spoilers for May 5th to May 9th of Bold and the Beautiful show Hope Logan crying uncontrollably, Bill Spencer in a panic, and Luna Nozawa fighting for her future. Spoilers for Bold and the Beautiful, Steffy Forrester and Liam Spencer talk on Monday, May 5th. Season 38, Episode 159 B&B spoilers for Monday, May 5th start with Friday's carryover action. Liam Spencer, Scott Clifton, is being urged by Steffy Forrester, Jacqueline McInnes Wood, to inform Hope Logan of his prognosis. She is aware that there is a problem with Liam Spencer. He now lives with Finn, Tanner Novlin, and Steffy. He's also acting somewhat differently. I hope Logan finds it wise. However, it goes much beyond that. Hope simply isn't aware of it yet. May 5th to 9th Bold and the Beautiful weekly spoilers, Luna fights back, Bill alarmed, and Hope bawls. Liam Spencer is making a sincere effort to match Hope with a decent man. He is aware that he won't be present. We know that before the end of the week, she learns his prognosis. Thus, it is possible that Liam asks Steffy Forrester to inform her. Perhaps he believes he can't. It could also be a go-behind-your-back tactic. Liam isn't really into it. There is no time for resentment because he is dying. Because she cares about him, Steffy Forrester is acting in this way. Spoilers for Bold and Beautiful, the future of Hope Logan and Carter Walton. Hopefully, we'll see more of the dialogue between Hope Logan and Carter Walton, Lawrence St. Victor. He is making every effort to persuade her. Liam Spencer also pushed her. Everything appears to be in order. However, everything may change before the end of the week. It's intriguing that Hope Logan told Carter that she's finally seeing they made a mistake. According to Ridge Forrester, Torsten K., Hope has never shown regret to the Forresters for what she did. She should apologize to Steffy, Ridge, and Eric Forrester, John McCook. Carter apologized. Still, Hope holds Steffy Forrester responsible. She continues to believe that they were acting appropriately. Hope believed they were there for a greater reason. She must first apologize if she wishes to rejoin Forrester Creations. B&B spoilers for Tuesday, May 6th, Steffy encourages truth-telling despite Liam's dismal prognosis. According to spoilers for Tuesday, May 6th, Season 38, Episode 160 of Bold and the Beautiful, Steffy and Liam are having difficulty accepting his death sentence. It makes Finn feel terrible. There isn't a miracle yet. It was what Steffy hoped for. Everyone is holding out hope. Steffy and Liam reflect on their daughter, Sophia Paras McKinley's character Kelly Spencer. She will be traumatized by this. Fortunately, she has a reliable backup father in Finn. Maybe that's why Liam pushed Hope in Carter's direction. He also wants Beth Spencer to have a strong father role. Spoilers for Bold and Beautiful Wednesday, May 7th, Brooke asks Deacon for advice. Brooke Logan speaks with Deacon Sharp in B&B spoilers for Wednesday, May 7th, Season 38, Episode 161. He advises her on her next course of action. According to the spoiler, Brooke says Ridge Forrester will remain with Taylor Hayes. Brooke has been optimistic. However, even Brooke supporters dislike her pleading for Ridge to be back together. Personally, I hope Taylor and Brooke both broke up with him. He is giving Brooke false hope and is a big waffler. They are not going to reconcile. Her reconnection with Nick Marone, Jack Wagner, who appears in a little more than a month, is made possible by her heartbreak. In reality, he is already filming. Ridge continually saying things like, "You were perfect," to Brooke. But he is aware that he will never be able to get her back. It's gaslighting. Regardless, Deacon Sharp offers Brooke a recommendation. I doubt he will propose a reunion unless he is aware that Sheila Carter, Kimberlyn Brown, is secretly meeting Luna Nozawa. Regarding Liam Spencer, Steffy, and Hope Logan also agree. It could be the end of their war. Steffy visits Brooke's home the following week to speak with Hope. On Wednesday, they will begin discussing Liam Spencer. Hope, Luna, and Bill are bold and beautiful. May 8th spoilers for Bold and Beautiful, Steffy explains Liam's destiny to Hope. Steffy Forrester informs Hope Logan that Liam Spencer is dying, according to B&B spoilers for Thursday, May 8th, Episode 162, Season 38. Steffy breaks down in tears as she shares some news regarding Liam. Hope sobs, and the ex-stepsisters finally connect over a genuine connection. Not a man, not jealousy. Luna Nozawa also said she will find a method to get in touch with her father, Finn, next week. She assures him that he is a wonderful man who would never abandon his child. For a variety of factors, things might change next week. Carter is urged to let go of Hope by Daphne Rose, Muriel Hilaire, on Thursday as well. She wants a new beginning with him. Perhaps Hope rejected Carter once more. Perhaps even due to Liam's death. Hope thought about getting back together with Carter. However, she might retreat. Instead of being sidetracked by Carter, she most likely wants to be there for Liam. We'll watch the CBS soap drama to see how it unfolds. When Hope learns that Liam is dying, everything changes. Friday, May 9th, bold spoilers, Bill and Liam face the past. According to bold and beautiful spoilers for Friday, May 9th, episode 163 of season 38, Bill and Liam Spencer meet for dinner at Il Giardino. They confront their past in a profound conversation. They also spoke about that terrible conflict. Both Bill and Liam are being honest and open in their sincere talk. Both of them are at risk. Liam might finally be honest with Bill. The secret is out now that Hope knows. And Bill will, as he should, feel terrible. Hope manages her exes and receives unexpected guidance from one of them. Hope Logan's life had never been easy, but recently she felt as though her romantic relationships were getting out of hand. Hope was stuck in a maelstrom of contradictory feelings due to Liam Spencer's enduring devotion, Thomas Forrester's unrelenting pursuit, and the sporadic resurgence of former lovers like Wyatt Spencer. It was exhausting juggling her heart, her family, and her job at Forrester Creations, but Hope had always taken pride in managing chaos with grace. Each man represented a different path: Wyatt, the charming what could have been; Thomas, the passionate but unpredictable force; and Liam, the safe but complicated love. That is, until one of her ex-boyfriends gave her a shocking piece of advice that caused her to re-evaluate everything. It all began when Liam, who was always the troubled soul, returned to her house and begged for forgiveness. With sadness in his blue eyes, he emphasized, "Hope, I know I've made mistakes, but what we have is real." How many times had they gone down this road, yet she wanted to trust him. Both their love and the suffering they continued to inflict on one another were indisputable. She was about to reply when Thomas called and asked to meet to discuss the new Hope for the future line. It was business, of course, but the conflict between them had long since made it difficult to distinguish between work and personal life. Then there was Wyatt, who had abruptly returned to her life following his own tumultuous split from Flo. Even in her worst moments, he was the one who could make her laugh and was always the smooth talker. She hadn't anticipated the talk to go so intense when he stopped by Forrester to catch up. He leaned back in his chair and grinned knowingly, saying, "You know, Hope, you're always trying to do the right thing for everyone else. However, when do you act in your own best interests?" The question was like a ton of bricks to her. Of all people, Wyatt was criticizing her for being self-centered. Thomas, meanwhile, was getting more difficult to ignore. He had changed dramatically in the last year, becoming a loving father and a surprisingly mature partner instead of the cunning plotter. She experienced an inexplicable pull whenever they collaborated, one that simultaneously delighted and alarmed her. Was he someone she could truly trust? Or was she preparing for yet another heartache? Liam intensified his attempts to win her back after noticing her hesitancy. "Hope, Thomas has previously harmed you." "Never would I do that," he swore. Was that sufficient, though? Stability was reassuring, but was it familiarity or love? The night that altered everything then arrived. Hope was drinking a glass of wine at a pub after a particularly heated debate with Liam over Thomas when Wyatt slid into the seat next to her. "Hard day?" With a light tone and serious eyes, he asked. She groaned, her typical calm eventually giving way to tiredness. She acknowledged, "I simply don't know what to do anymore." After observing her for a while, Wyatt said something she didn't anticipate: "Perhaps the issue isn't having to choose between them. Perhaps it's recognizing that you don't have to make a decision just yet." Hope stopped. Was he implying that he was unmarried? She had spent so much of her life defining herself by her relationships, first with Liam, then the drama with Thomas, and even her brief but significant relationship with Wyatt himself, that the thought was almost absurd. The idea of leaving everything behind was both horrifying and liberating. She thought over Wyatt's counsel for days. What if she retreated a step? Unburdened by the burden of a romantic triangle and able to concentrate on her happiness, profession, and self? It made more sense the more she thought about it. Naturally, Liam and Thomas made things difficult. In a rare display of vulnerability, Thomas said, "I want you to be happy, Hope, even if it's not with me," while Liam begged for one more chance. That much selflessness from Thomas? She was shaken. Ultimately, Hope made a choice for herself, not for Thomas or Liam. She required room. It was time to relax and regain her identity away from the drama. As she reflected about the two men who had influenced so much of her life, she came to the profound realization that sometimes choosing to forge a new route is preferable to choosing between two options. With Liam Spencer, Hope Logan had always been a firm believer in second chances, even third chances. She had clung to the hope that, at its core, Liam was a decent man who loved her despite their love story's ups and downs, agonizing betrayals, and heartbreaking reconciliations. However, this time? It was different this time. This time, Liam's selfishness wasn't an accident, rather, it was a heartbreaking, purposeful betrayal that destroyed any remaining shaky trust. And Hope wasn't just heartbroken, she was angry for the first time in years. It had begun with what ought to have been a straightforward discussion. While juggling the pressures of managing the hope for the future line, motherhood, and her marriage, Hope had been giving her all to her work at Forrester Creations. Liam, meantime, had once again been aloof. She initially attributed it to stress, the typical drama in the Spencer family, and the strain of co-parenting with Steffy. She did see, however, that his phone was usually facing down, that he cringed when she asked where he had been, and that he had hushed talks that ended when she walked in. She recognized that expression. Before each time he had shattered her heart, she had witnessed it. Nevertheless, she made an effort to be lenient toward him. Perhaps she was exaggerating. Perhaps she was simply worn out. However, the truth eventually surfaced, not from Liam, of course, as he had never been the first to confess. No, it was Steffi who made the mistake, speaking in an irritated tone as she faced Liam in the center of Forrester's design office. "Liam, you have to stop doing this," Steffi yelled. "When things get tough with Hope, you can't keep coming to me and then pretending nothing happened." Hope felt the words strike her like a blow to the body. Rushing to Steffi. Once more. He was back where he usually ended up, caught between two women, unable to commit, unable to choose, unable to stop hurting everyone around him, after all the vows, all the promises, and all the times he'd vowed that this time would be different. What's the worst? Not even the decency to tell her had occurred to him. He would have allowed her to be blindsided and humiliated in front of everyone. Liam did what he always did when she eventually confronted him: he stumbled, he dodged, he made excuses. With his hands out as though he might physically quell her rage, he urged, "I hope it wasn't like that. I just had a conversation with Steffi. I couldn't understand. I was unsure of how to tell you." "Are you confused?" Hope's hands were shaking, but her voice was dangerously composed. "Were you perplexed? Are you still perplexed after everything we've gone through and after all the times you've done this exact same thing?" She could feel the sting of tears that she would not let fall and the heat swelling in her cheeks. "No, Liam. You were not perplexed. You were self-centered. Without considering the impact on me, Beth, or even Steffi, you were only considering what you needed and what you wanted." Liam dared to appear injured. "Hope, that's unfair. I cherish you. You have always been loved by me. Love shouldn't cause this kind of pain." She eventually lost her cool and exploded. "Love shouldn't consist of you fleeing every time things get difficult and then expecting me to simply forgive you when you return. Liam, I'm not your fallback option. When Steffi isn't an option, I'm not the comfort food you settle for. I'm worthy of better. Beth is worthy of better." Liam seems to grasp the seriousness of his actions for the first time. His face went white. "Please, I hope. Let's simply discuss this." However, she had finished speaking. "I'm done acting. I'm done allowing him to use his vacuous promises and pathetic excuses to control her feelings." "No," she answered, her tone firm and decisive now. "I'm finished, Liam. I can't continue like this. I can't wait for you to decide that your misunderstanding is more significant than my feelings again." The consequences were immediate. As was to be expected, Liam alternated between pleading for another opportunity and accusing Steffy, Bill, and even Thomas of pushing him out of his mistakes. Hope, however, had stopped listening. She finally recognized Liam for what he was for the first time in years, a man who had spent years prioritizing his own indecision over the sentiments of others around him, not a hero or a victim of circumstance. And the most annoying aspect? He was still not entirely sure what he had done incorrectly. As the days went by, Hope's rage subsided into something sharper and colder, resolve. She put herself fully into her profession, into motherhood, and into starting over without Liam at the center. And she felt free for the first time in a long time. Not having to worry about waiting for the other shoe to drop all the time. Free from the never-ending cycle of betrayal and forgiveness. She is no longer burdened by the love of someone who never really picked her. Liam, meanwhile, struggled. In the absence of hope, he wavered between self-pity and remorse, between extravagant displays of affection, such as flowers, unexpected visits, and emotional speeches, and irascible annoyance, why won't she just listen to me? However, hope retreated more and more from him as he pressed, until at last he had to acknowledge that this was more than just a passing disagreement. That was the end. And he was solely to blame.